everyone, welcome to Divya Ganita. In this video, I am going to solve the KCET question paper of 2019 Mathematics. In that, I have divided that question paper into 6 parts. In each part, I am going to solve 10 questions each. Now, let's go to the first question. In this problem, they have asked us to find the inverse of this matrix. To find inverse of this matrix, it is a very lengthy steps. That means you have to find adjacent of this matrix, then you have to find determinant, then you have to do adjacent by determinant of matrix. Instead of that, we also know that A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to identity matrix I. And also they have given inverse of this matrix is one of this. That means any of this will be A inverse. So it is enough to see that which one will be inverse of that matrix. For that we will use this condition, that is A inverse into A is equal to I. As this matrix is of 3 cross 3, then the identity matrix will also of 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So now we know which number will come in which position. So now we will find only the position which we need to find. For that, observe here, in this position we have different numbers in different options. Here we have minus 15, minus 1, minus 15 and minus 5. For this position all numbers are same. Now to multiply this A inverse with the matrix A, we have to choose the, we will consider this row and we have to choose the column with which we have to multiply it. If we multiply this row with the first column, then here we have 0. That means this position entry will multiply with 0. Then it will be of no use because all these entries will get multiplied with 0. Then we will get 0. Instead of that, if we multiply this row with the second column, then we can get the specific answer. And also we know that when we multiply first row with the second column, then we will get this position entry. That means we have to get 0 there. Now we will multiply this row with this matrix. What will it happen? 3 into 5, that is 15, minus 15 into 1, that is minus 15, plus 5 into 0, 0, we will get 0. Similarly, you can check for other matrices. Here it will not be equal to 0. Here also it will not be equal to 0. Here also we have same minus 15. In this and this matrix we will get 0. That means directly we can reject these two options. Now what we have to do? Observe here. We have to check only for these two options, right? In these two options the number differ only in this position. That is, here we have plus 2 and here we have minus 2. Except that all other entries are same. So now check for this position. For that, we will multiply this row with the first column. Here we have minus 1. So no problem, we can take that column. When we multiply this, we will get 1 into 2, 2, minus plus 0 and 2 into minus 1, minus 2, that will be 0. And also last row into first column means this position entry. Here we have to get 0 and we got 0 here. That means this is the correct option. You can check for this option. Here you won't get 0. It will be observed here. It will be 2 plus 0 plus 2. That will be 4 and it is not equal to 0. So the correct option is A. Now let's move on to the next problem. In this problem, they have given P and Q are symmetric matrix. P and Q are symmetric matrix means P is equal to P transpose and Q is equal to Q transpose. And we have to find what will be PQ minus QP. Will it be 0 matrix? No, because we know that matrix multiplication is not commutative. When will it be commutative? Only if it is a diagonal matrix. Is it a diagonal matrix? No, right? So, PQ minus QP cannot be 0. We can directly reject this option. Then, here is identity matrix. But, will this be identity matrix? We don't know about that. So, let's move on to the next option. That is skew symmetric matrix, and also we have symmetric matrix. To whether it is symmetric or skew symmetric, the only way we know is finding the transpose, right? So let's find the transpose of this matrix. That means we have to find PQ minus QP transpose. What will it be? PQ, it will be PQ transpose minus QP transpose. That means we know that A plus B whole transpose is equal to A transpose plus B transpose. It will be Q transpose P transpose minus P transpose Q transpose. Because AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose A transpose. And also we have Q transpose is equal to Q and P transpose is equal to P. So directly we can remove this transpose. What will it be? If we take minus outside, it will be PQ minus QP, which is the taken matrix. We got some matrix A transpose is equal to minus A. Which is this condition? This is the condition of skew symmetric matrix, right? So the correct option is skew symmetric matrix. Now let's move on to the next problem. In this problem, they have given 3a plus 4b dash is equal to this matrix and 2b minus 3a dash is equal to this matrix. Then we have to find b. Here b dash means we know that it is transpose. But we have to convert this into b. For that, what we have to do? Just take the transpose, right? Then it will be 3a transpose plus 4b is equal to transpose of this matrix. So we got b in both the equations. Now we have to find b. For that, if we add these two equations, then clearly 3a dash and 3a dash get cancelled, right? What will we get? 6b is equal to the matrix which we get by adding. To find the 6b, we need not add all the entries of the matrix. We have to go back to the options. In this position, almost all options have different numbers. That means here we have minus 8, 3, 3 and minus 3. Now we will find which number will come in this position. That means we have to add the numbers only in this position. That is 0 plus 18 is 18. Then in 6b we got 18 means clearly in b we will get 3. Right? So in these two options we have 3 in that position. Directly we can reject these two options. We are left out with two options. Now in these two options the number differ only in this position. That means here we have 4 and here we have minus 4. So we will add the numbers in this position. That is 31 minus 7, that is 24. So in 6b we have 24 means in b we will have 4. So this is the correct option, right? We can directly reject this option also. Now let's move on to the next problem. In this problem they have given matrix A and B and we have to find determinant of A, B, B transpose. We know that determinant of A, B is nothing but determinant of A into determinant of B. So this can be written as determinant of A into determinant of B into determinant of B transpose. And also we know that determinant of B is equal to determinant of B transpose. So we can directly write determinant of A into determinant of B whole square. Now we will find determinant of A. To find determinant of A, we know that it will be 2 minus 12, right? It is minus 10. Determinant of A is minus 10. Here we got minus 10 into square of some number. Determinant of B, whatever it may be, it will be square. And also we know that square of any number is a positive number. Here we got negative. So the product of positive and negative will be negative. Here we have only one option in which we got determinant is negative. So directly we can write that this is the correct option. Now let's move on to the next problem. In this problem they have given if the value of third order determinant means determinant of some matrix A is equal to 16 and order is given. Order means n is equal to 3. Third order means n is equal to 3. Then the value of the determinant formed by replacing each of its elements by its cofactor. That means we have to find the determinant of cofactor of A. We know that cofactor of A is equal to adjacent of A transpose, right? And also we know that determinant of A is equal to determinant of A transpose. That means determinant of this is equal to determinant of adjacent of A. And also we have the direct formula that determinant of adjacent of A is nothing but determinant of A whole to the power n minus 1. Here we have determinant of A is nothing but 16 and n is equal to 3. 3 minus 2 means 16 square. That is nothing but 256. So the answer is 256. Now let's move on to the next problem. In this problem, they have asked us to find the integration of x cube sine 3x dx. If we solve this in the direct method, it will be very lengthy problem. Instead of that, I will give you a quick easy method. That is, if you have integration of u v dx, then it is simply u into integration of v dx minus u dash into double integration of v dx plus u triple integration of v dx minus so on. That means you have to always differentiate the first function and go on integrating the second function with the alternative plus and minus sign till you will get the constant. After that the next term will be 0, right? There you have to stop. Now we will use this method to solve this problem. Observe here. Here in all the options we have the same terms. It only differs by plus and minus signs. That means it is sufficient to find which sign will come in which position. Let's find the first term. By taking x cube as the first term and sin 3x as the second term, if we use this method for this problem, then the first term is x cube as it is and integrate sin 3x. That means we will get minus cos 3x divided by 3. That means first term will be negative. Except this option, in all other three options we have negative. So directly we can reject this option. Now let's move on to the next term. That is minus of u dash. That means differentiate x cube. We will get 3x square. Here we have divided by 3. So 3 get cancelled. And integration of minus cos 3x is minus sin 3x divided by 3. Minus into minus, it will be plus. Right? So the next term is plus. In these two options, we have plus. So directly we can reject this option. Now let's move on to the next term. That means we have to differentiate x square. What will we get? Plus 2x. And here we had minus sin 3x. Minus sin 3x means integration of minus sin 3x will be cos 3x by 3. Right? Here we got plus. Here we had another 3. Here we got plus. In this option we have plus. In this option we have minus. So clearly this is the correct answer and this is not. This is how we solve this problem. Now let's move on to the next problem. In this problem we have to find the area of the region above the x-axis and included between parabola. Now let's draw the figure for this problem. Parabola is y square is equal to x. That means it will be somewhat like this. It will be like this. And the circle x square plus y square is equal to 2x. If we simplify this, the standard form of this circle will be x minus 1 whole square plus y square is equal to 1. If we take minus 2x this side and add 1 on both sides, then we will get this. That means this is a circle of radius 1 and centered at 1, 0. Here is 1, 0. The figure looks like somewhat like this. And these two curves meet at, let's substitute y square is equal to x in that equation. That means we will get x square plus x is equal to 2x. That means x square is equal to x. The where these two curves meet is, this is 0, 0 and the point 1, 1. Now we have to find the region between the parabola and the circle above the x-axis. That means we have to find the area of this region. To find this region, you know that we have to integrate and we have to convert this equation in form of y, and also we have to convert this also in form of y and integrate that and all. Instead of that, what we will do here is, we already know the area of circle, right? What is the area of circle? That is pi r square. And also they have given radius is 1. So directly area of this circle is pi, right? And this region means 1 by 4th of the circle. That means the whole area of whole circle is pi. Means 1 by 4th of that means pi by 4. So area of this region is pi by 4. Now we have to subtract area of parabola. That means we have to subtract this region. So it will be pi by 4 minus something. Right? In these two options we have pi by 4 minus something. So directly we can reject these two options. Now we have to find whether it is 3 by 2 or 2 by 3. For that we will integrate it. Y square, the equation of the parabola is y square is equal to x. Right? Then y will be root x. Right? So pi by 4 minus, we have to find integration of 0 to 1, right? 0 to 1 root x dx. That means what will this be? Root x, integration of root x means x power 3 by 2 whole divided by 3 by 2. Whole divided by 3 by 2 means it will be 2 by 3 from 0 to 1. If we substitute 1 here, then it will be 1. And if we substitute 0, it will be 0. So the answer is 2 by 3. So the final answer is pi by 4 minus 2 by 3. That means option C. Right? We got the answer. Now let's move on to the next problem. In this problem, we have to find the area of the region bounded by y-axis, y is equal to cos x and y is equal to sin x between 0 to pi by 4. That means let's draw the figure. Y is equal to cos x means the figure will be like this and sin x will be like this. They will meet at pi by 4 and this is pi by 2. This is 0. Then we have to find the region, this region, bounded by y-axis and cos x and sin x. That means we have to, this is the curve of cos x, right? And this is of sin x. That means we have to integrate between 0 to pi by 4. This is cos x minus sin x dx. Right? This is the direct question in NCERT textbook. Now let's solve this. We know that integration of cos x is nothing but sin x and sin x is plus cos x between 0 to pi by 4. Sin pi by 2 is 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 minus sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. This is 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 is nothing but 2 by root 2 minus 1. 2 by root 2 is nothing but root 2. Root 2 minus 1. So the correct option is option B, root 2 minus 1 square units. Right? Let's move on to the next problem. In this problem, we have to find the integrating factor of the given differential equation. Observe here, this differential equation is not in the standard form. We have to convert this equation into the standard form. For that, we will divide this equation by y into dy. Divide by y dy. What will we get? It will be 2x by y plus 3y is equal to dx by dy. Right? dx by dy minus 2 by y into x is equal to 3y. This is in the standard form. This is of the form dx by dy plus px is equal to q. This differential equation in this form. The integrating factor for this type of differential equation is e power integration of p dy. That means e power p means minus 2 by y. So integration of minus 2 by y dy. Integration of 1 by y is log 1, right? So it will be integration of minus 2 into log y. Minus 2 can be taken to the power. That means we can write e power log of y power minus 2. That will be e and log get cancelled. That means y power minus 2. That is nothing but 1 by y square. So the correct answer is option C. Now let's move on to the next problem. In this problem, we have to find the equation of the curve passing through the point 1, 1. Let's take a curve. This is some curve. It is passing through 1, 1 and such that slope of the tangent at the point x, y. Let this point be x, 1. Then slope of the tangent at the point xy is equal to product of its coordinate. That means we know that slope of the tangent is nothing but dy by dx. That is equal to product of the coordinates means x into y. Now let's solve this differential equation. This differential equation can be solved by variable separable method. That means it will be dy by y is equal to x dx. On integrating, we will get log y is equal to x square by 2, right? Plus c, some constant. Now we have to find this constant. To find this constant, let's substitute 1, 1 in this equation. That means when we substitute y is equal to 1, this will be 0 because log 1 is 0 and here 1 by 2 plus c. So clearly c is equal to minus 1 by 2, right? If we substitute the value of c in this equation, we will get minus 1 by 2. If we take this 2 to this side, then it will be 2 log y is equal to x square minus 1. So the correct option is A. So we are done with all 10 problems of this video. If you like the methods which I taught you to solve the problems, if you feel that it is easy, then please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.